Hello and welcome to Mars for our top 5 figures of 2025 coming from Storm Collectibles. As we draw ever closer to 2026, it is very important to look back on the year of 2025 to see what were the best releases coming from Storm Collectibles. And while we didn't review each and every Storm Collectibles release this year, we did review a total of 9, which is a pretty good amount considering there are only 13 releases. Now, of the 13 releases, there are only 12 that have the IPs that we are invested and interested in. The 13th is from a Japanese pro wrestling release, which is not something we typically cover here on the channel. So we're just going to focus in on the 12 releases that took place in 2025. I'll give you a few seconds to think which IP had the most releases from Storm Collectibles. All right, your time is up. It is actually going to be KOF King of Fighters. Storm Collectibles, they released a total of 6 KOF releases this year, 5 of which was from KOF 98 Unlimited Match, and the other was from KOF 2002 Unlimited Match. Those seem to be the most gravitated IPs for Storm Collectibles. It is also important to note that this year, again, we had a total of 13 releases from Storm Collectibles, and that does not include any of the exclusives, nor does that include any of the Storm Arena releases as well. Towards the end of the year, I was skeptical that Storm Collectibles window was closing, with Storm Arena now taking the forefront for the brands, but it looks like after Anime's Pro Festival, that would not be the case. And in fact, this year we had a total of 11 reveals for Storm Collectibles. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have plenty more Storm Collectibles to come in the near future. And while we didn't review each and every figure to be released this year, there is one honorable mention I want to mention before we begin our top 5. And that, of course, is going to be the Street Fighter 6 Zangief release. We don't have it, but this figure looks nicely detailed. You can even see the pores on the skin of the figure, which is incredible. That just goes to show you how extremely detailed that figure is. You're getting plenty of head sculpts. You're getting effect pieces as well. The articulation looks great. Seeing the figure from Mr. Lee's videos has me excited, no doubt. Unfortunately, we did not get that figure. If you were interested and are interested, please do yourself a favor. Check that figure out, as it will be worth your time and money. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this M.A.R.S top 5 Storm Collectible releases for 2025. Taking it off, we've got Skullomania. This figure, I had no idea who this character was. I had no idea of EX Fighting Layer, nothing. All I know is Storm Collectibles made the tweet this figure was now available for pre-order, and it was only $60. The cheapest Storm Collectible figure I've ever seen go on the website. So of course, I pre-ordered that bad boy. And once we got it in hand, I was completely blown away. For a figure coming in at $60, it was nicely sculpted, it had great articulation, a decent amount of hands and head sculpts, and for the price of $60 directly from the Storm Collectibles website, hey, this was an absolute steal. And it kind of made me believe, at the time, had me thinking, well, this is the packaging that we'll get for Storm Arena. Maybe it'll be about this size. We now know that's not the case, but overall, very impressed with Skullomania. And I'm looking forward to see if we're going to get any more figures from EX Fighting Layer in the distant future. So number 5, Skullomania. Coming in at number 4, it's going to be Son of Ogre Baki Hanma's Dopo Orochi. This figure, nicely sculpted, nicely detailed. It has great shading. I love the leopard pants that we get with this figure, with the sculpt. That's great. That's unique. It's different, right? We don't see that everywhere. And then you have your full-on soft goods gi with the soft goods belt to put on. Hey, this is a nice figure coming from Baki. And just when you thought the Baki line was going to be, hit or miss, or maybe they were going to slow down for whatever reason. No, we got the reveal last year at the Anime's Pro Festival 2024. Dopo Orochi was going to be next. We got the figure in hand a few months ago. It actually is our last review of a Storm Collectible figure for 2025, and just blown away overall. Nice, expressive head sculpts, nice articulation. I mean, the figure outdoors in the nature setting, it looks even better than it would indoors. So yes, number 4, Dopo Orochi. Up next, we've got Storm Collectibles KOF 2002 Unlimited Match Nameless. I was just so intrigued with this character's history, from the inspiration from Akira, the anime movie, and things like that, to where it got to Nameless, which was a whole new character for KOF 2002 Unlimited Match. And that alone prompted me to pick this figure up and to review it for you all. And I turned out rather pleased, honestly. I like the effect pieces. I like how he's got his metal drill arm. He's got his flame hand and things like that. The accessories looks good. His little soft rubber robe looks great as well. The black and white. I just like the history of this character, and the figure looks great too. Articulation is great. Accessories is well done. And overall, just a pleasant review of this figure. I had a great time reviewing this figure, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the next KOF 02 release is going to be, if we even get one, which I'm sure we will. Coming in at number 2, we have the Fatal Fury legend himself from KOF 98 Unlimited Match, Joe Higashi. With this figure, not even talking about the figure or even the character aesthetic, this figure, for me, was the last figure I got from Hong Kong pre-tax implementation. Or not tax, but tariffs. So for me, and it was even more a unique pickup because the person I got this from, his name was Joe. So it was like, okay, Joe, this is going to be like a tribute review to you because I know tariffs is coming, and I won't be able to get this figure or get any figures from Hong Kong for a while. And yeah, I decided to pick this figure up. The figure's name was Joe, and then the actual person who sells it, his name was Joe. So that for me was enough to get the figure. Once I got the figure in hand, I like the articulation. I like the tornado effect piece that he comes with. I like that his whole design is based off of Muay Thai kickboxing. Myself, not to brag, I've got about, 3 months worth of training in my past. So that's always a great thing to have. And that kind of gives me that connection to this character. And really, I enjoyed this review a lot. We had a great session reviewing this figure. Overall, very pleased. Didn't have any issues with any pain or the articulation squeaking or anything like that. So a very solid release from Storm Collectibles 2025. Number 2, Joe Higashi. To end it off, yes, you probably know who it's going to be. The number 1 release for Storm Collectibles 2025 is going to be the son of Ogre, Baki Hanma. This is the complete package when it comes to this character. I mean, you're getting 2 outfits here. You're getting his purple shirt, his jeans, his pairs of shoes, and you're getting his fighting attire as well with the wristbands and ankle bands. Like, this figure ultimately is the best Baki figure to get, and you can just look back. And that's what makes this figure so good. You can look back to the original release Baki figure that came out, I think it was in 2021, to see in 2025 we've got the updated Baki. He's older, he's more toned, he's more serious, and this figure reflects that in every aspect of the word. So coming at number 1, we've got Baki Hanma, and we know we've got more stuff coming from Baki, whether it's Storm Arena, Storm Collectibles. Storm Collectibles, we're going to be getting the blue exclusive Dopo Orochi release where his head's all cut up and things like that. So Storm Collectibles, Baki isn't going anywhere, and I'm still having my fingers crossed for a pickle reveal. That's what I want to see. That's what we need. Whether it's Storm Collectibles or Storm Arena, that's the character I want the most. But this is going to be it for our M.A.R.S top 5 Storm Collectible releases of 2025. Comment below. Let me know what was your number 1 Storm Collectible release for 2025, Hell, even if you want to, tell me your top 5. I would love to know. Thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you all in the next one. Until then, peace.